My name is Michael and welcome to a new GTK StackSwithcer tutorial. Today we are going to work also with the transition running property from this GTK stack, just to be sure that you understand that they are working fine and they have no problems, and that the property which you need to apply works fine even if the StackSwithcer has its own properties, like changing the icon size or the stack itself. I will go in to show you that it's working also the transition running as well. And for this, of course, what do we need? We need first to catch the property signal, which means we need to be notified. So g signal connect, I'm going to use swap. And of course we need to apply it on our stack, because that's the important thing which we need to do. And of course we need a g callback function, which I'm going to call it again running callback. And of course the stack again. And now what do we need here? We need a notify, like I said, and we need a double call 2 times, and of course the property name, in this case the transition running. Now, because we are monitoring basically this property right here with the help of notify signal, which will be catch on the stack, we need to create the running callback as well. As you already know from the last video, and you should know also from the property playlist, if you don't, just go back. You don't need not only the GTK, the object which you pass it, which in this case it will be the GTK stack. You also need the gparam spec as well, because here it is the information hold which basically you are interested in when you are monitoring a property. So in this case, now here, once that is called the running callback, the information which is here inside, it should be the same which you are monitoring, and for this of course you can check it. Now we can make changes so that we know exactly what we are working with. And for this, let's see how we can do this. I'm going to use, of course, a flag. So let me just call GTK widget, GTK widget. You know what, I'm going to copy from the other one right now, right here. And now, because we have it, I'm going to say static gboolean flag set to false. And now, because it is set to false, we did it, we can check against it. So if flag it is set to false, which it is, then we are going to say now g print, and new line, a tab, and now we can say %s, and again new line character, and let us pass now the name, else g print, and here we are going to say, let me put 1 2 3 spaces, switch it. Oh, you know what, I'm going to use also a tab, even if it's too much for okay. So switching to, and of course we need to know to what, isn't it? So if we now use the name it will be interesting for us. So let me see if I am right. I'm going to do a little bit much more different. You know what? I'm going to use the get name right here, and instead of get name here, we need the property name. So const gchar const, and here get prop name, and we're going to point it to GTK param spec G spec get name, and of course we are going to pass the b spec. Now let me compile it and run it and see what happens. The way it is, we have a problem. Yes, because we need to use this property name and the name as well. What the heck? Switch into, yes, the specifier, I forgot it. Now let's see what happens when we work with the transition. Transition running, switch into computer, and then says again transition is running. Cool. Transition is running, and if I go to PC, it says transition is running, switch into phone, and then transition running again, which is basically not what we need, isn't it? Yes, because now we can somehow change this kind of behavior by setting different meanings. So let's say we have a switch into computer and we have switch into phone, and we have a transition which takes place, and of course the same mistake again. I need to set it to false first and flag to true so that it's false in that else statement. So let's see, transition is running, switching to computer, switching to computer, we have different, and now transition running, switching to phone, switching to phone. You see, and now because it's working, we can now change it a little bit here and say switched to phone. You see, we just changed the meaning so that you see the difference between switching and switched. Of course, let me change the transition a little bit longer for at least 3 seconds, 3000 in the transition stack set duration. And now if we go back to the running callback, once then I compile it and run it, you will see it better and you will understand it better. Now when I hit the button, it will take 3 seconds to change and then goes to PC. Yes, you see transition is running, switching to computer, and now switch it to computer, and we are on the computer, which is true. Now if we click back, switch into phone, and once that is done, switch it to phone, and now it's working. And as you can see, we did now combine those two callbacks, the running callback and clicked callback, to have that information which we need. So basically now you understand that combining these two callbacks, we don't need to create in one callback too much information, because we know that we need somehow this callback function, and we know that we need to monitor this one as well, which is the property of the stack. Then we just combine them. So the first one only inform us that something is happening. This one is telling us that the thing which we are monitoring, it happens, and then it is of course it's giving of course when transition is done the information that it is already switched, which is much faster than just checking in the function. For example, if we go back now to the GTK stack, you also have here the transition running. You see, you also have the function to check this behavior, but you see how fast it's working. If you are creating callbacks for those properties, we basically can differentiate between switching to something and switched to something, which is where you start and where you go from A to B. Of course, you can give a better meaning. If me, for example, I say now A. Wait, I wanted to put it here. A, and then here I'm going to say B. Probably you understand it much better. Watch. Let me put it aside. B transition is running, A switch to computer, B switch it to computer, you see? B transition is running, A switch it to phone, B switch it to phone. So basically, as you can see, AB and AB. This is what you need. This is the only thing which you probably need. Okay, this B right here, it has no meaning because it should not print something. That's just the transition, but it was there just to show you when exactly happens those calls. So as you can see, the transition running property is much faster than the callback function, which was called on the button when you were clicking it, isn't it? So that's the main difference which happens, and this because you didn't click yourself the button like me right now, you see, because if you click the button then you see the transition, you see. If I click the webcam, says transition is running, and then after it's done says switch it to camera web. You see, you don't even care about the other buttons because it happens that they will inform you headphones, running transition, and then bam, switch it to headphones. PC running transition, or transition is running, and then switch it to computer. You see, all this information you can have it only by calling the running callback after you create it in a matter like I did now. Okay, that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.